Have you ever thought about what would happen if the lights went out and just didn't come back on? I'm not talking about a brief neighborhood blackout. I'm talking about a large-scale, long-term failure of the U.S. electricity grid. It sounds like something out of a disaster movie, but the scary truth is, our power system is far more vulnerable than most of us realize. And it's not just one single threat, it's a perfect storm of aging infrastructure, changing weather patterns, and new kinds of demand that are pushing our grid to its absolute limit. Let's start with the basics. The American power grid is a true marvel of engineering. It's a vast, interconnected network of power plants, transmission lines, and distribution substations that stretches across the entire continent. For over a century, it's been the silent, reliable backbone of our modern lives. It powers our homes, our hospitals, our businesses, and the very digital world we're all connected to right now. We flip a switch and the light comes on. We take it for granted, but maybe we shouldn't. A huge part of the problem is age. Much of our grid's core infrastructure was built in the 1950s and 60s, with a projected lifespan of about 50 years. Well, you can do the math, we're living on borrowed time. Many of our large transformers, the critical workhorses that step up or step down voltage, are decades old. Replacing them isn't like swapping out a light bulb. These things are massive, custom-built, and can take months, sometimes even years, to manufacture and install. A coordinated failure of several of these key transformers could trigger a cascade of outages that would be incredibly difficult to recover from. Then there's the weather. It's not just in our imagination. Weather is getting more extreme. We're seeing more intense heat waves, more powerful hurricanes, and more severe winter storms. And our grid simply wasn't designed to handle it. Think about the Texas deep freeze in 2021. Unprecedented cold weather caused power plants to fail just when demand for heating was skyrocketing. Millions were left without power for days in freezing temperatures. Or look at the wildfires in California and Hawaii, where high winds and dry conditions turned power lines into a catastrophic fire risk, leading to preventative blackouts or, tragically, causing devastating fires. These aren't isolated incidents anymore, they're becoming the new normal. Heat waves are a particularly nasty challenge. When temperatures soar, everyone cranks up their air conditioning. This creates a massive spike in electricity demand. At the same time, extreme heat can actually make our power infrastructure less efficient. Transmission lines lose more power as they heat up, and power plants can't operate as effectively. It's a vicious cycle that puts immense strain on the system, leading to rolling blackouts just when people need cooling the most. Regions across the country, from California to the Midwest, are now issuing regular warnings about the potential for summer blackouts. But it's not just about keeping the old system running. We're also asking it to do things it was never designed for, the biggest shift: the transition to renewable energy and the rise of electric vehicles. Now, don't get me wrong, this transition is absolutely essential for our planet. But it creates huge engineering challenges. Solar and wind power are intermittent. The sun doesn't always shine, and the wind doesn't always blow. Unlike a traditional coal or gas plant that you can ramp up or down, you can't just tell the sun to shine brighter during a heat wave. This means we need a smarter grid, one that can handle fluctuating power sources. We need massive amounts of energy storage, like giant batteries, to save up solar power from the daytime to use at night. And we need to upgrade our transmission lines to move clean energy from where it's generated, like windy plains or sunny deserts, to the cities where it's needed most. Right now, our grid is struggling to keep up. The waiting list to connect new solar and wind projects to the grid is years long, not because we don't have the projects, but because the grid itself is a bottleneck. And then there are the EVs. Electrifying our transportation sector is a fantastic goal. But imagine millions of people all coming home from work and plugging in their cars to charge at the exact same time. That creates an enormous new demand peak in the early evening, right when the grid is often already strained. Without smart charging solutions and significant upgrades to local distribution networks, we could see transformers in suburban neighborhoods literally blowing out from the overload. On top of all these physical and logistical challenges, there's another threat, one that's invisible: cyberattacks. Our power grid is increasingly digitized and connected to the internet, which makes it more efficient, but also more vulnerable. A sophisticated cyberattack from a hostile state or a terrorist group could potentially shut down parts of the grid, causing widespread chaos. It's not science fiction. Security experts have been warning about this for years. Protecting the grid requires constant vigilance and investment in cybersecurity, a battle that never really ends. So, it's a grim picture: aging infrastructure, extreme weather, a difficult energy transition, and new threats. It's easy to feel a little hopeless, but there is a path forward. The good news is, we know what we need to do. First, we need massive, sustained investment. We have to modernize the grid, replacing old components and building out a new, more resilient network of high-voltage transmission lines. This is a monumental task, on the scale of the original interstate highway system. It will require political will and significant funding. Second, we need to get serious about energy storage. Battery technology is improving rapidly, and deploying it at scale will be the key to unlocking the full potential of renewable energy. This means everything from utility-scale battery farms to home batteries like the Tesla Powerwall, creating a more distributed and resilient system. If your neighborhood has its own local energy storage, it's less likely to go dark even if a major transmission line goes down. Third, we need a smarter grid. This means deploying smart meters, advanced sensors, and AI-powered software that can manage energy flow in real time. A smart grid can automatically reroute power around a fault, encourage people to charge their EVs during off-peak hours, and integrate millions of small energy sources, like rooftop solar panels, into a cohesive whole. Finally, each of us has a role to play. Energy conservation is more important than ever. Being mindful of our electricity use, especially during peak demand periods, can collectively make a huge difference. Things like better insulation in our homes, energy-efficient appliances, and simply turning off the lights when we leave a room all add up. And for those who can, investing in rooftop solar and home battery storage not only helps you, but it also contributes to a more stable grid for everyone. The U.S. electricity system is at a crossroads. We can continue to neglect it and wait for a catastrophic failure, or we can choose to invest in building a clean, reliable, and resilient grid for the 21st century. The challenge is immense, but so is the opportunity. This is our moment to rebuild and reinvent the very foundation of our modern world. The future, quite literally, depends on it. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the technologies and systems that shape our world. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.